Your loadout and escalation can make or break your run. And for me, it broke it many times. As a matter of fact, it broke it today, yesterday, and the day before that. So today, I'm going to give you the advice that I learned from multiple failed escalation runs and what choices you should make for your loadout. So a lot of people, including me, made the mistake of just using the normal loadout thinking, okay, I'm the most used to this. This works for me. So yeah, let's run it. But really, you end up dying at some point, especially if you're playing co-op. So instead of my loadout looking like this, it tends to look more like this in Escalation. And for the skill amp, I do tend to switch between Smash, Hide and Heal. Both of those are pretty good, but I don't use anything else. I might use Strong Arm if where I need to hit the witnesses or escape the courthouse, something like that. Yeah, no, I usually am running Hide and Heal or Smash. Probably the most surprising thing here is the jammer. Now the reason I use this is because we look at the upgrades, we can see that there is a pacemaker feature here. And this is the first upgrade, literally the first one you unlock. And it automatically activates for a self-revive, and it can be used to revive a dead teammate from a distance too. And it's a one for trial sort of thing. So this is just a self-revive amp, but with a rig. And my teammate is usually running a stun with this, so that way I can get rig rechargers. And this helps me get locked containers with like health and stuff. And of course, it can revive me or a teammate if we die. And if you didn't know, if you and your teammate die, then that's it. Because there are no respawn pills. Escalation, there are syringes, but if both of you are dead, then you guys can't get a syringe as the run's over. I do stick with noise reduction, however, because it's just too OP. It stops a lot of sounds from being loud. This is useful in particular with Don't Make Noise because it brings your running down to a level 1 sound, which means you can basically run throughout Don't Make Noise, and basically the trial's free because in Don't Make Noise the enemies are essentially blind and they can't see a thing. Now I would run something like Backpack if you're in Stats to Contraband and you don't have the +1 inventory space prescription, but if you do, and I am definitely using noise reduction. It's just way too useful. And your goal during escalation should be basically stay as far away from death as possible. So that results in me using Hide and Heal because I want to stay as healthy as possible. I don't want to be super low on health. Now sometimes, let's say like I have a health booster or I'm full on health. Then yeah, I'm gonna be using Smash, of course, or like if you choose 2 health bottles before a trial. I'm switching to Smash because being able to run away from enemies quick is just too useful, and that's something that I have already implemented into my trial playing. So this also works if you don't have the prescription for Door Basher. So taking it down from 3 to 1 hit is literally a game changer. Like it could save you, like literally, from dying. Like if we take for example the Deadly Prime Assets variator, and you have to hit a door 3 times to get away from them, like you're at a dead end with a locked door, you know, you're dead, right? That's the end of the run. Smash saves you in that context. And Hide and Heal could be useful if you just want to like jump in a locker at the beginning of a trial, you know, take care of that. But really, you definitely want to be choosing some health before you enter a trial if you know that you're low on health. So it's like you got to be proactive in situations like that because yeah, you shouldn't always be running Hide and Heal. Like Smash is definitely a priority here. Now for the medicine category, it's basically no argument could be made against self-revive. I'm sure you could, but putting it into practice, this has saved me so many times, especially if you're not running Jammer and you don't have that ability to self-revive. And this can also be interchanged with Last Chance, and typically I'd be running Incognito, but who cares about crouching fast when if you die, the run could be over. So yeah, I'm using self-revive. Now, really the ones that I tried to unlock first is self-revive, good job, and boosted. These 3 right here are the most useful. And finishing an assignment for good job doesn't necessarily mean like actually doing something. It could be as simple as entering the courthouse and vindicate the guilty and getting that objective done. And it brings back a portion of your health. But I do typically run self-revive or Last Chance. If you have access to the 2, you definitely want to be running these because if you don't and you die, then goodbye to your run. And this applies in co-op, of course, because in once you get far into escalation and you have all those respawn pills on you, dying doesn't matter, but it's super important in co-op. So if you are playing solo, then I wouldn't say worry about. I'd say I wouldn't worry about any of these. Just use whatever amp is most useful to you. In my case, it's Incognito. But playing with multiple people, yeah, self-revive without a doubt. And for prescriptions, run and smash doors is quite useful because I'm not trying to kick down a door. Saves a lot of time. Stay of execution is good. If we combine stay of execution with quick escape, get hit, and then just like run away, just like that. This has been this specific scenario has happened to me multiple times before, which is why I do enjoy using it. Hard kick is also really good as well. Self-defense technique is good. Regeneration is good. I don't really care about these two, but it's just like convenience. Tier 2 prescriptions is the most important for me, in my opinion, because you get all these boosts to your stamina, your endurance, your battery. Heavy training is very, very useful because you are like unbelievably slow when carrying objects if you don't have heavy training. I don't really worry about Door Basher if I have Smash, which I do tend to have Smash come through within the first couple trials quite a lot. So I usually don't worry about Door Basher that much. Yeah, really all these tier 2 prescriptions are just super useful. I do try to unlock tier 2 as fast as possible because all these upgrades to your stamina is just like way too useful. Tier 3, I don't really care much for tier 3, but for some reason advanced regeneration doesn't spawn in on Escalation. I haven't had it spawn in, my friend hasn't had it spawn in. I don't know where advanced regeneration went in Escalation. It just doesn't exist. The only really good thing here is stamina recovery and deep breaths. Nothing else really matters. Revitalize might be cool. A lot of this other stuff, yeah, I don't really care about. Some of this tier 1 I don't really care about. Tier 2 is absolutely the most useful. And there are a couple settings you're going to want to turn on for Escalation as well. So you're going to want to change your stamina to auto hide. You're going to want to change your noise and darkness indicator on. Okay, for some reason my phone started talking. Secondary objective on, add your group on so you can always see your groupmate's health. That's what I do. I just like being able to use all this information I'm given to the most of my ability. Yeah, so right here is what I like to run in Escalation. You might have different uses for stuff, so let me know in the comments if this is like the exact opposite of what you would run. But the goal in Escalation should always be to stay as far away from death as possible, because if you're multiple hours into a run and you die, yeah, that's a horrible feeling. That happened to me today, yesterday, before that. It's just not something I want to go through again. So this is going to be a loadout I'm going to be using for Escalation going forward. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you think different. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye for now.